So the sun. So in order to really explain 2020, I feel like we need to step 1 month back into 2019. December of last year was epic. I had just remodeled this huge home in one of the best neighborhoods in Jacksonville. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this thing. The gas-powered wraparound fireplace kept the whole house warm and inviting as Google played music and the hot tub was burning on the back deck with the stars above. Everything was perfect. My parents were there for Christmas and I was just burning with anticipation and excitement for 2020. And then, coronavirus. Businesses were shut down, people were dying, people were panicking, and 3/4 of my clients froze capital that I had signed contracts with, weren't moving forward with their projects. We're talking 7-figure problems at this point. So in March, I came to the conclusion that I needed to sell this gorgeous house that I just put my heart, soul, blood, tears, and a whole lot of sweat into. I finally had a well-built and gorgeous home, and now I have to get rid of it. This was not an easy decision, but if I was gonna weather this potential upcoming financial storm, I needed to cash out. I made a video of how coronavirus was affecting me. I got really real and raw on camera as I tried to share it with most of you, like really who I am at the core. And someone saw that and they really connected with me, someone local, and we wound up joint venturing on this residential contracting company, which has been interesting. By the way, I have my parents here helping me. These people are amazing. They brought me into the world, and my mom is the best cook. Look how beautiful they are. This is my parents' house in Texas. I'm visiting them. I've had a side hustle of flipping real estate to build capital in my real estate business to eventually buy and hold long-term rentals. So despite of COVID, I still pushed through and flipped about $2 million worth of real estate through. Sure. Dad is cracking up. As soon as I finally get the line and then Mom interrupts, but it's okay. That's what it's all about.
You had the perfect line. Hey, with the lights on.
So despite COVID, in spite of. So despite of COVID, I still wound up flipping well over $2 million worth of real estate through that side hustle.
In despite of, but anyway.
I faced major hardships with COVID at the building department, and the permits and inspections just went on hold for months at a time when every hour was going by and was racking up interest expenses. That in and of itself was really stressful. For 2 years prior to me selling my house, I actually always kind of wanted to live on this riverbank that's nearby. A month before I sold the big fancy house, I started putting 4 or 5 papers with my phone number. I'm like, yo, my name's Jesse, I want to buy a condo right on this riverbank. Oh, let me buy it. And next morning I got a call. I need to make a final condo video, which I'll do next month in January. I wound up buying the condo for $90,000, put $75,000 into it, stayed in an Airbnb for 2 months. During COVID, everything shut down, and then I wound up moving into the condo when it was about 3/4 of the way complete. It's this fully modern and renovated house, fully smart home compatible. The only thing it's missing is the hot tub. All throughout this time, I didn't have a kitchen sink. Well, the Airbnb I did, but the faucet was like broken, and it was just like a rough season. On top of the 6-month renovation that it's been through on the big house, I moved into this condo that's 3/4 of the way done, no kitchen sink, no HVAC at times, and every time I went to the bathroom, someone would bang on the door and say, Jesse, where do you want this valve? Or like this thing over here. I never really felt like I got rest. So that's just my side hustle, and on top of all these other things and businesses and ideas I was starting, I own and operate and run a multi-7-figure commercial general contracting company. Some cool projects that we did were a 10,000 square feet
oxygen supply facility, an office renovation for a $1 billion trucking business, a ground-up airplane hangar at the airport, another airplane hangar renovation, a gorgeous new skincare facility for Caldera and Jack Beach, and they want us to build lots more stores, awesome people, a fitness center rehab, a Books A Million, a vegan restaurant, a Sbarro's Pizza, etc., etc., etc. We're also flying in with a crane, new trusses on top of this awesome building for a place that builds wood chipping machines, a huge warehouse. So very exciting stuff, a lot to manage there, a lot of people decisions to be made, and I'm also designing a 12,000 square foot concert venue downtown with like multiple bars and a 3-story elevator up to the rooftop, and egress and code compliance and occupant loads, and I meet with the fire marshal.
Which, by the way, I walked up and the fire marshal was like, Jesse Lane, I watch all your YouTube videos. It's like the coolest thing. And then we're designing a ground up amphitheater project for the mall in front of JCPenney, like a really, really cool, really fun project. So some fun projects for next year, but also just so much brain power and energy spent with these things. That's on top of estimating multiple 8 figures worth of construction projects that a lot of them I don't even get, but it still takes a lot of time. And J Lane Construction was awarded 2019 and 2020 Best General Contractor in Jacksonville, Florida. So I spent the last 7 years of my life building this business through sacrifice. friends would call to hang out, I would say no. I haven't watched a movie unless it was a special occasion with friends or family. To pleasure trip the whole time, unless it was going to network or learn something at a conference or go to a general contractor roundtable. I learned, I grew, I worked extremely hard towards my North Star goals. So it's been a never-ending stream and a mental strain to hold all of these things together. I lay in bed and my mind races. And it's a constant thing to be ahead of the curve and manage all these people and support all their families and all the employees and subcontractors and everyone that is relying on me to make good decisions and not mess up. And it's a lot of pressure and responsibility as a general contractor, business owner, entrepreneur, person who takes on stuff. So it seems as though there's always people vying for my attention, waiting for me to call them back. And so I've realized that I need to scale down actually a little bit after this 7-year stint of giving my entire being to this. Moving forward, I feel like I want to scale back a little bit and do less businesses. And actually, I want to give more to you, the ones watching this, more videos, more training, consulting calls, maybe courses. One goal that I have next year is to build a course of how to grow your own 7-figure contracting company. So to wrap up 2020, even in the midst of COVID, my team and I found a way to push through, to keep growing, to keep learning. And I grew personally, spiritually, mentally, physically, got a little bit fatter, and emotionally, dealing with all these different and new types of people and problems and situations. My friend Mark helped me round out my mission statement for my company, and I was able to really expand on the cultural aspect of my business, and I grew so much in that aspect. So thank you, Mark. So if you're still here watching this video, COVID has really led a lot of people and forced them kind of into this corner of backtracking on their goals, wanting to quit. But I want to encourage you to not quit and find the positive people in your life that can lead you towards the positive and encouraging things. And you need to find your North Star, which sometimes you just gotta try stuff. I try stuff and I fail. I'd rather fail out of 13 but get 18 of them, and then you got 5 good things that you're successful with that neutralize, and hopefully there's some profit margin in there to be a success. If you don't have positive people in your life, go out and find them. So thank you for being a part of my journey. This 2020 year has been absolutely crazy. I encourage you to find people who are radically pursuing their vision and their goals, because that kind of stuff is contagious. We'll see you next year. Okay. Thank you, Mother. You gonna subscribe? Are you subscribed?
Of course I am.
Okay.
I hit like.
Thank you. Yeah, hit like. Oh man, thanks.